My dad lifted his crystal champagne glass and stared at me. "We only invited you out of pity," he said, loud enough for the whole table. My sister smiled like she'd rehearsed it. I didn't yell. I just smiled, took one slow sip, and walked out. They thought I was the family failure on display. What they didn't know was I had the deed, the statements, and a recording button. A week later, their favorite cabin was locked down, their joint accounts were frozen, and their old money started bouncing. Hard in loud. I was 29, living in Boston, working at a museum. I loved my job. My family treated it like a hobby. Then a thick New Year's invitation showed up. No note, just a time, an address, and a dress code. 3 years earlier, my marriage blew up. I asked my family for support. My dad played golf with my ex instead. When I fought for custody of my dog, my dad told me, "Don't make us look unstable." That betrayal sat in my chest for years. The only person who ever had my back was my grandma. When she died, my dad expected everything. Grandma left him some cash, left my sister jewelry, and left me the Vermont Lake cabin. The one place I ever felt safe. My dad tried to bully his way into it anyway, so I kept the deed and stayed quiet. I went anyway because I still hoped. The table was packed with rich friends and nervous laughter. My dad sat at the head like a king. I was shoved near the end, between strangers. Dessert hit the table, and my dad tapped his spoon for silence. He raised his glass again, slow and steady. Then he looked straight at me, smiling. "We invited Claire out of pity," he said calmly. Forks stopped midair all along the table. My sister added, "Don't stay long, Claire." A few people laughed because they were afraid not to. My face stayed still. My hands didn't. Under the table, my nails dug into my palm. I set my napkin down like it weighed a ton. I took another slow sip of water. Then I stood up. "Excuse me," I said, and I walked out. I slipped into my dad's library because he never locked anything. On his desk sat an open folder with my name on it. Bank summaries and credit lines made my stomach flip. Years ago, they convinced me to open a maintenance account for the cabin. Taxes and utilities, easy stuff. I signed and never checked. They ran everything through it like it was theirs. It was hotels, car services, and client dinners. My sister was hiding corporate expenses under my name. Then I found my dad's investor pitch. He was using my cabin as collateral to prop up his failing company. I called my friend Daniel, a ruthless finance attorney. "Sell the cabin," I said. "Lock the accounts tonight." He warned me the charges would bounce. I told him, "Good." Before I went back, I hit record and slipped my phone away. When I returned, they barely noticed. I didn't sit. "I'm selling the Vermont cabin," I said, clear enough for everyone. My sister dropped her lipstick, and my dad went pale, then purple. He hissed, "You can't. That's family property." I stared back. "It's family mythology. The deed is mine." They got sloppy after that. My sister snapped, "My job depends on that retreat." My dad growled, "Investors expect it as collateral." He leaned close and tried the old threat. "If you do this, you'll be alone." I smiled. "Keep the name," I said. "I'll keep the deed." I walked out with my recording still running. The next morning, I transferred the cabin into a trust and hard-closed every line. In minutes, it was done. 7 days later, the dominoes hit. My sister drove influencers to the cabin for her big retreat. The gate was chained shut with a legal notice. She tried to save face at a luxury lodge. Her card declined in front of her boss. By Monday, she was suspended and audited. Then my dad's investors demanded proof. The cabin wasn't his, and the deal died. Vendor checks bounced. Bank statements showed zeros. 9 days after dinner, they showed up at my apartment, soaked and furious. My sister screamed, "You ruined my life!" I kept the chain on and said, "You did that yourself." My dad threatened lawyers, so I hit play. Their own voices filled the hallway. "We invited you out of pity. They expect that property as collateral. My firm will audit me." After that, nobody yelled. I said, "Walk away, or this goes to your investors, the IRS and her board." My dad didn't argue. He just turned and left. My sister followed, silent. Months later, their estate went up for sale. My sister got demoted to a windowless desk. I kept my peace, and my phone stayed quiet. If your family treated you like this, what would you do? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading.